Hey Orchid peeps, welcome to El Pilar Orchids. Thanks for checking in. It's finally a nice sunny day here, so hope you guys are having a nice sunny weekend wherever you are. If you're back home in the Midwest, well, I guess I hope you're, surviving the heat. So lucky you, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Meanwhile, here in Europe, in Germany anyway, we've had a really cold, wet spring. It's finally starting to warm up. Let's get right into it. We're gonna try to make this a shorter one today because the deal is, well, the boss and I are international school teachers, so we teach at an international school here in Germany. And of course, we go home in the summers to see our families and visit with everyone. Yeah, that means that we're gone for 5 to 6 weeks in the summertime. And so our plant water has arrived. She is now here. She is a house sitter that stays at our apartment when we're gone, and she takes care of our orchids and other house plants, and now the garden as well. So we've added to her duties this year, unfortunately. Thanks, Natalia, if you're watching. She's amazing. I really got to give her credit for the last 3 summers. She's stayed at our place and taken care of everything, and we really trust her. We Any losses that we've had over the summers is through my own negligence or whatever, not from hers. It's like, tip number one, if you're going out of town and you're worried about your plants, really try to find someone that you trust and work with them. She came over once earlier last week and just we went through everything again. I wanted to film a little bit of that, but she didn't want to be on camera. So I understand, and that's no big deal. So this is kind of a update for us as well as you guys, our loyal viewers. If you aren't subscribed here, which I know a lot of our returning viewers are not subscribed, maybe think about hitting that subscribe button so you can get updates on everything. And yeah, the ridiculous, silly crap that we do here with orchids. We try to have a little fun with it. Anyways, so I want to go through what we do for our plant water and for you guys. So basically now all of our orchids are grouped by watering schedules or watering procedures, let's say. So we have all of our Paphiopedilums in semi-hydroponics here on these 2 tables up front. This is also where some of the paphs live, down over here. It's watering day, and so the other cabinet is empty. We have all of our seedlings there. We'll look at those in a minute. It's easy for her to know which one. Oh, and I gotta move these two. We have 2 Phalaenopsis that we grow in semi-hydro as well, and so I'm gonna move. They were up here on the shelf. I'm going to move those down while I'm thinking about it. Okay. Yeah, I don't like to have them so crowded, but for a few weeks, while we're gone, and it's easier for her to water everything and keep track of what's going on. We don't have the buckets yet out. I need to get that. We're leaving in a few hours, and so I got to get the buckets here. I already have a couple water jugs, and I'm going to leave the fertilizer. So we've asked if she could fertilize once or maybe twice over the summer. Not too worried about that, though, quite honestly. Yeah, so just a quick what's in bloom. We'll run through like some of the more exciting things in the collection. And so, yeah, last week, if you saw the video, we pollinated our Paph parishii here. So nothing, the ovaries on the 2 down, we pollinated these 2 lower flowers, and they are looking slightly like maybe they're reacting a little bit, but no signs there yet. It'll be a surprise when we get back in like 5 or 6 weeks, and we'll see what they look like. Moving right next to that, we have our Phalaenopsis schilleriana. Oh, of course, the shadow is going to get in the way. Should have thought of that. Yeah. Amazing. We do have 2 wonky flowers, so let's see if it'll zoom on that, focus on that. So you can see the fangs, like the end of the lip on this flower did not form properly. And the same on, you can see this lip did not form. So 2 of the 8 flowers this year did not quite form perfectly. And it's like, so it's just crazy. It won't even focus. All right, there it goes. Anyways, these are all of our water culture Phalaenopsis here. So we have all these grouped together. So she knows we do those twice a week. We soak them in water for anywhere from 8 to 24 hours. We soak them twice a week. The Phalaenopsis, well, so this is technically a no ID, this guy. It is right now our most fragrant plant. It is, so you can smell it from here. It's this really nice medium tone, like, I don't even know what that means, like a floral fragrance. Okay, so it's nothing like super unique. It just smells like flowers, but it's quite strong. Now this, while it's a no ID, it's been called a Bulgari here in the European, like a market, a trade name for it is the Bulgari, I guess. And then another viewer, I can't recall off the top of my head, but they said that this is also known as a bronze Buddha. Bronze Buddha. And I did look them up, and yes, they both of those, the Bulgari and the bronze Buddha, both look very similar. So I don't know. For us, it's just a no ID, but it's funny now. This no ID has two possible IDs. It's still a no ID. Foul little sister. Come on, focus. There you go. Amazing backlit. Now you can see this crazy spotting. And yes, slightly fragrant, a very, very subtle fragrance on the little sister here, blooming out. Now we did try pollinating this, and so far we just did that. So not expecting. Again, this is one we're gonna see, and hopefully we have a nice surprise when we get back. And then our few no IDs. The boss is pink, no ID. And then the what we call paprika is just so special. When maybe you noticed it when we kind of highlighted it a couple weeks back. The bottom of the inflorescence, when the flowers first open, like the newer flowers are red, and so it kind of gives this like flame effect where it's like red at the bottom and it like fades to this golden yellow. It's fantastic, no ID. Moving down, some more Phalaenopsis, a couple of our novelty phals, if you will, the Jermaine Vincent there, the purple and white. See if I can move the camera down to show you that. Jermaine Vincent looking awesome this year. I love this because this plant, even though it has Tetraspis in it, it blooms pretty true to itself every year. So it's very consistent in its coloration. And then the reciprocal cross, kind of not technical, I don't know. Anyway, is it gonna get it? So here is the Jennifer Palermo. Now we've moved it so we can actually see it. Again, we did try pollinating this, so we'll see if anything comes of it. That's only like a day or two ago we pollinated it. So still gotta wait. Again, another surprise for us when we come back. Hopefully there's something there on that flower. And hopefully the other flowers are still in bloom. This one tends to hold its flowers for a couple months, 2 to 3 months. So it's yeah, a nice long-lasting bloom. Right up now is the Paphiopedilum limianum. Gotta try to get rid of that lens flare. Sorry, the Pavlimianum. Block it. There we go. Yep, pollinated this. Well, took the pollen from this and put on the Parisiae. So that was the cross we did there, and just love this flower. They're so cool. Yeah. And some of our just update on if you do follow the channel closely, then you may saw the video. You may remember the pollination here of the Tyanum, cross-pollinated with the Paphbellatulum. If you've been following this particular plant, it is swelling very nicely, so I'm super excited about this one. I think there's some good seed developing in there. Hopefully we'll see. And yeah, the Tyanum is also swelling a little bit, so looking good. Happy about that. No IDs. Okay, no IDs are still holding on like always. They last for months, which is why we love them. So now the Doridonopsis Black Beauty here. Nice looking plant. Just for a quick update, the Gigantea has not started blooming or started growing a new leaf yet. Hopefully there will be one growing when we come back. We'll see. And so the next group really quickly, now we're in the kitchen, and I mentioned it is watering days. So these are watering right now. I'm trying to do everything all at once while I'm soaking these. We usually soak our phals, and some of our others that are in bark and whatnot, leca mix. We soak them for I don't know, 15 minutes to a half hour once a week, typically. And yeah, now we were hoping that we would see the Sideria japonica before we go, and we're just getting a glimpse of it. Oh man, it's been 2 years, more than 2 years, since we've had this plant bloom for us. And of course, it's such a tease. It's like, oh man, we knew the timing was going to be close. So at least we get to see one flower kind of open. So that's a nice one. We're happy that we've brought this one back to life, and it's looking nice and healthy again. The blooms on these are amazing. If you don't have a Sideria japonica, definitely add one to your collection. It's a pretty unique plant, and love this guy. It's really cool. Nice grower, pretty small, compact, good, unique flowers. And then the other, nice success that we mentioned a couple weeks ago is our D-Flask seedling. One of the hybrids that we got in Flask, and this is the first D-Flask seedling we've had put on a spike and bloom for us. Same thing, we knew it was going to be close. I figured we wouldn't get to see it, and we don't. But hopefully it keeps going and it will still be in bloom when we get back. Oh, now I'm hoping it goes slower. I was hoping it would go faster. Now I want it to slow down. And yeah, the no ID Inze orchids. If you don't watch Inze from the Netherlands, he's got a funny. I find him to be funny, and I really like the guy. He's interesting, good grower, and he said maybe this is a sophronitis, I think, so we should look it up. I always just considered it like a bifoliate Cattleya type. It's a no ID. It's an orange bloom, really compact mini Cattleya type. This we just grow inside year round, not with our other Cattleya types outside. This one we're keeping in, and honestly, it's doing the best. So I'm starting to think maybe I should not take all of our Cattleyas and just treat them as house plants, because this one's doing better than literally all the rest of them. Maxillaria variabilis, mother plant as we call her, is soaking as well. And now a quick glimpse at quarantine, which is the commode. I know it's the bathroom, but these are some of the plants that we had growing at our school. And so we take some orchids, and we have students that water and take care of a bunch of house plants, and many now are orchids. Like over half of the plants they take care of are orchids. And these are about half of the ones that we had at school. We did have some bugs, and we never addressed them, and the plants are super dusty from, I mean, I don't want to go into all of that. This whole season of El Pilar orchids, we've been trying to put together a video of growing some plants at our school and under student care. And it really became like a complicated when, you've got like students and privacy, and we don't want to show too much. And yeah, so I got a bunch of footage, and then I could never really get the finalized video together. So now that is a project that is on the back burner for next year, or maybe in the fall when we take them back. So these will go back to school along with the others, but this is quarantine. We do have the dragon heart. The students got this one to bloom. This is the Phalaenopsis dragon heart. Nice hybrid, really easy to grow. And then, yeah, another no ID we had growing there. They had this in bloom. They had about 5 orchids bloom for them this year. Oh. And this guy, an old one to the channel, this is the Vosner mosquito, Phalaenopsis vosnermucca, as it's called. And it's always in bloom. I mean, this thing, I love it. It really kept them going because it was just constantly in bloom all year. At the school, it bloomed like 3 or 4 flushes of about 8 to 10 flowers. It was amazing. So it really kept them happy and kept them going. Love this guy. Now you can see how dusty and gross. Like we never wash the flowers or the plants at all. Anyway, so now they're in quarantine. And this is actually a second set of quarantined plants that had some insects that I don't know. I didn't identify them. I think they may have been the start of some thrips. And so I've identified those a couple of weeks ago. I tried to kind of clean them out, but I really haven't had enough time. Actually, this one was another one from the school, so it just rejoined here in this quarantine because I didn't have room in the other one. Anyway, too many plants in quarantine. Whatever. They're in quarantine, they're separated, and it's just another complication for Natalia. She's got to take care of these and remember them because, yeah, one of them is semi-hydroponics, this Robolini. And anyway, enough about sick plants. Let's go outside. Yeah, the succulents. The succulents are all looking good out here. I mean, most people are surprised that these succulents have grown outside for the last 2 months plus completely in the rain and soaking wet. I do drain them pretty much every day when they rain, but they love it out here. They're going so good. They just respond really well outside, no matter what the temperatures or how much water they get. Apparently, I don't know. I'm gonna keep them going because they're doing so well. And yeah, so yeah, the test plant is over here. This is the Oncidium shari baby. Still looking okay. Still not great. A lot of yellowing. The pseudobulb is on its way to dying, I think. So, Piggy, tranquila. Piggy, say hi. Okay, now you don't want to talk. All right, so a few of the other orchids. Oh my gosh. Well, this is for you, Nature Nell, because this is what you made her do yesterday when I was watching your video. And that's payback. A little payback for Nature Nell. Anyway, don't tell him I said that. These are the Brasidium shooting stars over here, and a set of cuttings from Maxillaria outside, and we've grouped all of now our Cattleyas and Cattleya types together. We've grouped them all together. The test plant here from a couple weeks ago, we did a video on this one kind of as the centerpiece, and this test plant is definitely not good. Anyways, it's here with the others right now because, again, we want to make it easier for our waterer. Intermedia, this is a Cattleya intermedia, this little guy back here. There's a new growth coming out from like kind of the bottom left there, so that one's probably actually doing better than the little bifoliate inside. Actually, this one, it's a colder grower supposedly, and that has seemed true because it's Piggy. Anyways, it's a colder grower, and that has seemed true because it's done so well out here. Then the catasetums are up here, a little hoverfly hovering around. See that? So, the catasetums all doing pretty good, although I think it has not been hot enough for them. And yeah, so I wish it would be hotter. Now they're getting plenty of water, so they've been super watered with all the rain we've had. I'm just hoping that once they get some heat, they'll actually start to grow, but they're just not really growing like I see all the others on YouTube. I mean, definitely like William Green, another shout out to another channel. If you follow William Green, from My Green Pets is his channel's name. He has some amazing catasetums and catasetum types, related ones, and they're all just so big and lush. And we started watering ours. They're kind of on a very similar time schedule, but compared to his, ours are really small. But again, I kind of attribute that to the fact that it's barely gotten above like 68 degrees at all this summer, just 1 or 2 days where it's like broken even the 70 mark. And most of the time at nights it's been getting down into like the low 50s with rain. So I guess it's just not hot enough yet for them, I hope, because they're in full sun. They get a full sun exposure here for yeah, like a couple hours in the morning, starting at like maybe 9. They go through, they get sun from like maybe 9 a.m. until about 11 or 11:30. So just kind of a couple hours of direct sunlight over here. Anyway, that's the deal on the catasetums. Hopefully we can get them to bloom this year. So thanks for checking in, guys. Hope you have a great summer. If you want to get your plants ready to go on vacation, well, just water them right before you go, like literally right before you go. Yeah, some people leave a little bit of water in the bottom, but we tend not to do that because it's better to have someone you trust look after your plants and your house. And it's just much better, I think. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you have a good one, and we will see you back here at El Pilar soon.